Hi, and welcome back to Wicked Ones Tarot. My name is Carmen. This is Hambone, and today we have a reading for you about no contact. And it kind of feels to me like one party has been working on what they needed to. There's a sense of enlightenment here because we have the Empress. Check out that sun that is, in the background behind her. And this is showing the progression from a Queen of Wands to an Empress. But then we have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. So while somebody is working on themselves and improving themselves, we have somebody else that is Eight of Pentacles in the reverse, not working, maybe being a little bit lazy, maybe being a little bit like willing to take shortcuts. And the fact that the Empress is looking right at the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse would suggest that this individual has some intuitive information or insight that lets them know that the person they're in no contact with is probably not doing as well in terms of that progress. So there could be some friends in common or some social media that is informing that. It could just be intuition. But let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Let's dive in. We're going to go with the Earth and Bone Oracle. We have the Nest, number 41, charity, generosity, sharing, and support. We just had this come out the other day. This is very much so giving Empress vibes because the Empress, of course, is someone who knows how to take care of their own stuff, build a nice home, for example, or live luxuriously. But there's also a sense of helping others create their own nest or create their own happy home. You better not be trying to get more stones there, mister. Hey, hey. Sorry. He knocked one off when I was taking the picture for this video, and now he's found it on the ground. But hopefully he leaves it. Oh yeah, that looks like a comfortable spot for you. We have number 37, Shadow. Wholeness, integration, repressed emotions, and mystery. So this feels like the other part of the dynamic here, the other end of the no contact. So there could be something about somebody taking their clues from this Empress to figure out their own healing. So it could be that this other end of the no contact has struggled to do their own healing, but they are taking some inspiration after hearing about or seeing evidence of the like leveling up of this Queen of Wands to become an Empress, kind of like, oh, I better get my shit together because like they have theirs together. We have the Knight of Cups. This is the Tattoo Tarot, by the way. And the Three of Swords. Hello there, Mac. How are you doing? I'm glad to hear it, and thank you. So the thing about this particular Knight of Cups is we have this white space in the shape of a chalice or a cup right in front of his face. I hope you can see that, like right here. And it's indicative of somebody that is maybe a little bit too caught up in emotions to really consider the practicality or the logistics of a love match or an offer, right? So there could be a sense of like kind of dreaming something up that couldn't actually happen in real life. It could also be somebody who is a little bit flighty, right? You might have these serious emotions of love, but not really have the ability to back up that love, right? What are you doing to pursue it or be ready for that kind of a connection, right? Hi there, Anthony. How are you doing? Yes, I do have personal readings that I offer, and you can email wickedwandstarot@gmail.com to get information about that. So we've got a bit of a heartbreaking situation here because I feel like this Knight of Cups expected things to go a different way. And when they were instead a little bit disappointing or when things didn't work out, they were kind of left unsure what to do, right? I have the Magician, Two of Swords. Feeling almost like restless, like I know I should be doing something. I know I need to do something, but I haven't yet. And do you see that there's a snake like around the pointer finger? You can see the head of the snake. I feel like there's a sense here that somebody had to relearn how to approach things in a way that was a little bit more respectful. So this person might have had a little bit of a heavy hand in terms of their expectations or how they speak to people. I feel like somebody had to, like, this masculine energy needed to like soften the edges a little bit and find a better way to talk to people. But this Two of Swords gives the impression that there may not have been as much guidance as this person would like in terms of how to heal or how to resolve this situation. So we could have somebody that doesn't have a very good role model in terms of healthy relationships. Eight of Swords in the reverse, Nine of Wands. But there was a change that happened at the core of this individual, a realization, seeing things in a different way. I don't know how to explain it. It's like I am seeing like a bar brawl outside. You know how like they're like, hold me back. And then somebody gets let go, right? Like now you're free. Now you can actually like tangle, throw some hands. But this person didn't know how to throw hands. It's like they had all of this energy and all of this like forward movement that was restrained for so long that when they finally had that ability to go forward and do something, um, they weren't really sure how to fight this battle. They didn't know like the protocol or they didn't know what was the right approach. They hadn't seen somebody else do it, right? How's it going, Redbeard? No fighting. Knight of Wands in the reverse. Uh-oh. Did we have a little bit of a player here? So the Knight of Wands in the reverse paired with the Lovers kind of gives me a fork in the road kind of scenario in my mind. Are you chewing on plastic? Hey, hey, I see you. Don't chew on that. Hey, hand bump. Sorry, time to throw the little play fox. Yeah, that's right. He loves to chew on anything plastic. There's a plastic bag over there that he doesn't need to eat. He's got food right there. Anyways, back to your reading. This person was struggling to have a focused energy. So, what I mean by that is either in work or in romance, but probably romance. We have somebody that was capable of doing so much and had a lot of that energy, but they put it in different baskets, right? Not doing the putting all your eggs in one basket thing romantically. And I think we all would probably identify as that as a little bit of a player. This is somebody who was routinely in like love triangles or like there's a question mark in terms of whether or not this is exclusive or whether or not I'm going to see you again, that kind of thing. Redbeard, you're funny. Hi there, Peggy. How are you doing? So this fork in the road for this masculine energy was basically, do you want to continue to do whatever you're doing here that doesn't seem to be getting very many results and maybe just makes you feel like you're alone at the end of the day? Or would you like to like maybe level up and actually experience something meaningful? And I feel like this energy was kind of kicking and screaming. Oh no, I don't want to deal with like real feelings. Seven of Wands in the reverse. It was always a bad time. It was always uh there was always a reason to decline to feel a strong connection with somebody. And there were these like rules. If you do this, if you do this, if you do this, if you do this, then I'm going to cut you off. This was a very quick to cut you off kind of person. They may have been even like the type to kind of ghost people because I don't see a lot of effort being made in terms of communication, right? Let's talk through what happened. Let's talk through what I want. Let's talk through what you want. This is more of a person who would, it's like mystery, but like lazy mystery. Like, I could tell you what's going on, but I don't really feel like doing it, you know? Nine of Pentacles and Knight of Swords. On to the next. Very much so defensive of independence. I like to do things on my own. I don't like to get too close to people. But do you notice this Knight of Swords card has a horse that has two heads, as if to say we were drawn in two different directions, right? Do I go this way? Do I go this way? Just like I said, the fork in the road, right? And this knight is pointing in one direction, forward, like keep moving. But I feel like the pull towards this other direction or the temptation to do something a little bit differently kind of slapped them in the face with this situation. So, in other words, there could have been somebody that they assumed it would just be like a quick, how do you do naked? And then they could just keep moving on, right? Like, this is somebody that thought they could just have like a friends with benefits or like go on a couple of dates, a little flirtation, no big deal. And then I'm gonna like keep moving on. Like I'm a traveling man, that kind of energy, right? But they were not expecting to feel this pull. So there was some sort of like a different feeling that they experienced. And that makes a lot of sense because we're talking about the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is generally seen as somebody who's very attractive, alluring, probably has multiple people interested, because this is somebody who is very confident and, just like able to manifest things. So there's a mystery here, right? That I feel like this Knight of Cups kind of got hung up on. Like, what makes you different? Why are you different from other people? Why do I feel a pull to you when I haven't felt that kind of pull to anybody else? I think we need the Romance Angel Oracle. So let's see what else we have. Romantic feelings. I called it. I just thought you were cute, and then I ended up thinking you were pretty cool. Like, I wanted to get to know you better, and that scared me, right? Your feelings are real and worth exploring. If you had a kiss, and I do feel like that was something that happened here, that kiss was something that was a little bit more powerful than the Knight of Cups had experienced before. And I feel like part of the journey here for both parties, but probably more so on the masculine side, was self-worth and realizing that they deserve love, that they deserve something a little bit more meaningful, right? And then we have, yes, this is your soulmate, which I feel like is how I actually titled one of my readings lately. So you might want to look for that one. like within the last couple of days. All right, let's get some insights into the thought process here. This is the untold messages of the heart. For some of you, this person straight up just fell in love, did not expect to fall in love, and that scared the shit out of them. Big old question mark. What did we have over here with shadow? Repressed emotions, mystery. This is like confounding them. Like they don't understand. Why do I still feel this pull? And what am I supposed to do about it? Unresolved. So much has happened between us in the past. Can we work through it again? Forbidden. Even though we couldn't, or sorry, even though we shouldn't, I still want you. Confusion. I don't know. How do I handle these emotions? How do I handle what happened between us? Yes, Redbeard, the heart is more complicated. So this person is realizing that there are some emotions that are pretty difficult to just, stuff away and forget about. This is something that they think about more often than I think they want to. All right, let's go with, this is the Hocus Pocus. Knight of Pumpkins or Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. There have been some setbacks. There have been some delays. You may have expected something to happen a while ago, and this person, it might have been like a stepping up to say something and then all of a sudden freaking out and like, never mind, right? Maybe you saw the little 3 dots indicating somebody was typing something and then they never ended up sending anything, right? Like just the idea of communication was there, but it didn't actually happen. I know what you're talking about, Peggy. It is a real phenomenon. Hi there, Vincent. How are you doing? So there's this, I feel like a financial or like I'm being a responsible adult kind of requirement or situation popped up for this masculine energy. I have to deal with moving. I have to deal with a new job. I have to deal with a change in the yard work. Like there's something here where this person had to get their hands dirty, had to work on something, had to focus, right? And they let that be a little bit of a distraction, or they kind of flopped around in that for a little bit, that sense of responsibility, because they were, in some regard, trying to avoid telling this truth, trying to avoid this conversation. The Ace of Lightning is the Ace of Swords, and it's in the reverse. The way that the lightning is going below the hand makes me feel somebody was stifling this energy, right? I don't want to think about this. I don't want to deal with this because I don't know how. Because it's not something I'm super familiar with. And look, we've all been there, right? There are little things around the house that need to get done. And every once in a while, I'm just kind of like a procrastinator about it. Like, I mean, I can do it, but I don't really want to do it today. We've all been there, right? This person is doing that about this conversation or about this truth. They might not even have been honest with themselves about this, right? But then we have this 2 of Candles. I love the visuals on these cards. 2 candles would be the 2 of Wands. A lot of fire energy here, by the way. So we could be dealing with somebody that has Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius in their chart. And then we have the Page of Lightning in the reverse. So this is basically saying there's an opportunity to pivot. There's an opportunity to go a different direction, to do something different, to live life differently. But part of the issue here is, do I have the information? Do I know what I need to do? Do I know what other people would think? There's a little bit too much questioning, right? Repressed emotions. Nine of Pumpkins in the reverse. I'm reacting this way because this is the Nine of Pentacles in the upright. This is the Nine of Pentacles in the reverse, or the Nine of Pumpkins. So in the upright and the reverse, what's going on here? Somebody feels like all of a sudden what they've been focused on or the way they've been running their life is not the right way to do it. So in other words, it might have been just fine to try to avoid meaningful connections with other people until a certain point, and then it was really not cool, and then it was like a punishment. Then it was, why have I been living my life this way? It's somewhat resembles the storyline for The Family Man with Nick Cage. Just a sense of, I've been avoiding people. I've been, not willing to trust people. I've been kind of like cocooning myself off and not letting people actually get in. And now somehow this Empress has kind of like got her claws in me and I can't stop thinking about her, right? Well, justice. This is the universe saying, oh, you think you can just like go through life without having any meaningful connections? I'll teach you. I'll put someone in your life that you can't resist feeling for. Somebody that will show you the reason why you're supposed to open up to people, why you're supposed to give at least somebody a shot, right? You can't just go through life impervious to feelings. This person may have thought they could, but they can't. Two of Potions in the reverse, or the Two of Cups in the reverse, and the King of Lightning in the reverse. Were you just a little bit of a dick? Were you just a little bit of a jerk? Because this is giving me like, yeah, I feel something for you. Yeah, I want something with you and I hate it. So I'm going to make sure I cut this off, and I'm going to do it in a way where you're going to know that I'm like, I don't care. Because I want to prove to myself that I don't care. Two of Potions in the reverse is a breakup. Two of Cups in the reverse, which is what Potions is a refusal, an ending. I don't want this. I don't want you. But it was a lie. King of Lightning in the reverse. This is the King of Swords in the reverse. If this were in the upright, this would be somebody that was telling the truth. I genuinely don't want this connection. I genuinely don't want you. I don't know about the unworthiness. See, that's part of why we have that saying that in order to love somebody else, you have to first love yourself. You have to know your own self-worth. You have to know what you bring to the table before you can attract somebody that has that same stability and that same readiness to connect, right? Readiness to see who you are. I'm just going to be really nerdy and use AirPods as an example. The other day, I wanted to have a conversation with AirPods, but I hadn't charged them. So I had to sit there and wait until those were charged before I could use them. And it's like maybe the lamest analogy ever, but you have to have the right power on your own before you can connect to somebody else, right? Like you have to be able to know your own boundaries, know what you want, know what you offer, and then you can build this bridge, right? You can have that way of connecting with another person that is built on trust and confidence, right? If you know yourself, then you love yourself. So it all starts with understanding what you want, who you are, um, what you're capable of, what you deserve. And so this King of Lightning in the reverse, This was somebody who I think lacked a little bit of self-awareness, but also lacked the ability or the confidence to be really honest about what they were feeling and what they wanted. Almost like they felt a little bit guilty or silly for wanting something. They may have been a little bit influenced by others to feel like love is not a good choice to make. I think some of you may have heard me call out like Queen Elizabeth the First, so like hundreds of years ago, right? I think she died in 1603, I want to say. She grew up watching her father like literally kill his wives or divorce them, right? If you were lucky. Not the greatest example of like, oh boy, I really can't wait until I can get married and somebody could dispense with me because they are power hungry or they want an heir, right? So this person may have had a bad example or several bad examples of love and just been like, you know what? Not for me. I'm good. Not gonna even try, right? But Two of Pentacles, Six of Lightning, Two of Pumpkins, I should say. This is saying what you expected to always see as chaotic or troublesome. I have picked up the shiniest, brightest example of love, placed it right in front of you, and said, just try not to love that. Try not to want that. What's that? Oh, now you want it? So there was something that made a bit of a splash, a bit of an argument that whatever your perception is or your even conception of love and whether or not you want it, I'm just gonna make you change your mind. I'm gonna make you see that there are some people out there that have a healthy perspective or a healthy approach to their feelings. So we have the Eight of Candles in the reverse for Pumpkins or Pentacles. So the Eight of Candles being in the reverse is no surprise because what did I title this? No contact. Yeah, this is no communication, no action. Very much in alignment with the Eight of Pentacles being in the reverse, which is somebody who doesn't do things the right way or cuts corners, right? So if somebody was unwilling to put forth the effort or unwilling to approach things in a respectful way, and the Queen of Wands was like, I'm good. Or even if the Knight of Cups was like, hey, this isn't for me, the Queen of Wands would have been like, totally cool. You don't want something? No problem. Why is that? Because the Queen of Wands, out of all of the queens, is the most capable of dealing with acceptance and the law of attraction. If you aren't right for me, you aren't right for me. I'm not going to force that shit. There's somebody else out there that does want this. So cool. Go about your business. And it may have been a conversation about that all of a sudden made something kind of switch in this masculine's mind, right? Like, oh, I don't know how to respond to that. I'm used to people trying to like plead with me or beg or like, you just don't know me well enough. I'm sure you would love me if you got to know me. But this Queen of Wands was just like, that's fine. Okay. I know I'm awesome. Somebody else will appreciate me if you don't. And this Knight of Cups was like, what? You're not going to fight for it? You're not going to like try to convince me? And it's like a stronger pull happened, a stronger attraction. Like, I like that you're independent. I like that you're not needy. But I just told you I didn't want you. So now what do I do? right? Oh, did you, Redbeard? I really want to go see it. I'm a little ways away from a movie theater though, so yeah. I think I have a good dress for it though. I don't have a ton of pink. You guys may have picked up on that. Oh my. So this masculine energy, the Knight of Cups, is used to people trying to trap them. Used to people thinking they're quite the catch. Used to people chasing them down, right? I miss you. Why can't I see you? We should date. We should move in, like this is somebody who hasn't had to be the pursuer so much as, hey, I'm at a party and I have a couple of options, right? But there's this magnetism that they assumed was always in their pocket, right? Like there's going to always be somebody that wants to chase me. There's always going to be somebody that wants to pursue me. So I don't really have to be like super assertive. Let them come to me, right? And then all of a sudden, this Queen of Wands enters the equation and doesn't try to trap this masculine energy. Instead, is just kind of like spontaneous, or I kind of want to use the word transient, which is maybe a little bit of a negative connotation, but just like ready to keep moving on, right? Like literally in my head, I'm picturing this Queen of Wands on one of those badass, like royal boats on the Nile. Like, no, it's okay. I'll just go to the next port. I'm sure there's some more dudes down there, like ta-ta for now. Not really getting uppity about it. And this Knight of Cups is like, but okay. And it could be that for this masculine, there were situations where they could say they weren't interested, or they were thinking they probably needed to stop seeing someone. And that's when things would really like get pumped up, right? Like someone would like try to cling and then they could kind of get what they wanted, right? Not with this Queen of Wands. So we have financial support and escapade, vacation, hideaway, adventure. There could be a decent amount of people that wanted this masculine energy to provide financial support. They could have been providing support for their family, for somebody they had a child with. They're used to being seen as somebody that offers stability in a financial way, right? Like I have to protect you or I have to take care of you in some way, which could partially explain a desire to kind of avoid a serious relationship, right? Like you're just going to use me, or you're just going to try to like control me. This Queen of Wands felt like a departure from that, felt like something you couldn't keep, right? I have always admired people that have such well-trained dogs that they don't really need a leash. Now, we can talk about how in certain places it's legally required for a dog to be on a leash, but I think you all know what I'm saying as far as like it's impressive when you have somebody that has like a bigger dog, like a German Shepherd or something, and they are just like right next to them, right? Like I obey my dude, my lady, whatever it is, right? I feel like this Queen of Wands was the type to not need a leash, but also be exactly where she was supposed to be, where a lot of people are very focused on that. Like, how can I keep you next to me? Right? How can I make sure you can't get away? This Queen of Wands has some element of freedom, right? Like, no, I don't need a piece of paper to say that you're mine. No, I don't need, to live with you, to have a good time. Whatever it is, there's something unconventional here. There was a departure from other habits or types of women. Um, let's not get too focused on gender because these are energies, not actual genders, right? This Knight of Cups could have been a little bit frustrated with everyone acting the same in terms of trying to keep somebody on a leash or trying to keep somebody in one place, where this Queen of Wands was just like, no, you do you. If you want to be here, you will be, that kind of thing. So we have Archangel Michael, which is a protective energy, and TikTok in the reverse. It's like there's a basketball game that went into overtime. Like, trying to think of I guess that's a sufficient analogy, but just the idea that this masculine may have felt like there was a specific timeline. You got to get your shit together by this. And when you don't, then everything's over. But because there was a basketball lobbed at the last second and whatever, there was an extension. Okay. So this perceived time running out got a little bit of an extension because of something the Knight of Cups did that was good. Speaking up for themselves, there was an action that was taken by this Knight of Cups energy that the universe was happy to see. Something they hadn't done before. Either they spoke up for themselves, they cut somebody out of their life, or they admitted to themselves what they actually want. And that has made it so that the universe wants to give them another chance, right? It could have something to do with social media. And it could have something to do with cutting somebody out of their life. If this person was able to rid themselves of a toxic energy, perhaps an ex or a family member that prevented them from pursuing the type of relationships that they do honestly want, and maybe blocked somebody or unblocked somebody, then the universe would have been like, okay, so you're saying there's a chance. You're saying you actually do see things a little bit more clearly than you did before. And so this Knight of Cups has another chance after failing something before. Eight of Pentacles in the reverse. Knight of Swords. So we had the Knight of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, and now we have the Knight of Swords. And this is all clarifying the Knight of Cups. So a lot of immature energy, right? But what I love is we finally have one that's in the upright along with the Knight of Cups, right? So we had somebody that was taken by somebody, felt emotion for somebody, and then that is like the record scratch, and they're like, no, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. And that's when they made like little mistake. And now that they've learned, now that they've seen how they feel after this separation or this no contact, they can acknowledge that they have a sense of urgency here to correct whatever it was they did that was trying to avoid that connection, right? I know better now. This Hermit in the reverse can also signify that somebody is done in terms of seeking solitude and licking their wounds, not wanting to face the situation. There's wisdom that has been sought, wisdom that has yet to be acted on, but this Knight of Swords is all about fast action. So I think we have some conflicting feelings here. This person's trying to figure out, am I going to do something or not? Because confusion, I don't actually know what to do, right? I do not have the Four of Cups out yet. I could see that it might come out though, because it does seem like there was a rejection here. So we have the Tower, the Star, and the Six of Cups. There was a shift that I feel like kind of started from the universe. A shift that, I don't know, it's almost like when you can smell rain is coming in, so you feel like you have to cancel your plans to be outside, like maybe you're not going to play baseball anymore or whatever. Like this is somebody who realized as things were changing, I have to change. This is shifting because I need to change. So there's an awareness here. I think a greater willingness to listen to one's intuition that led to some healing and was inspired by some pretty strong memories that were romantic, right? Vincent, I totally understand. Do you know how long it took me to finally give in and start a YouTube channel? It was months. I was like, but I got rid of Facebook, got rid of Twitter, and now you want me to be on YouTube? I don't know, man. Social media can be useful, but it can also be a total waste. We just have to use it appropriately, like figure out what your intent is for using it, right? Because you won't be seeing me on any platform telling you where I am at that specific moment. I think that's weird that people do that. Eight of Cups in the reverse, Eight of Swords, Infinity, 2 eights, and then I'm seeing infinity in my mind. So wherever this Knight of Cups energy sought to go, those feelings followed. And it was almost like feeling stuck, but not in the way they had been before. Have you ever seen a cat walking around trying to get away from, like, I don't know, one of those little booties they put on their paws? Like, can't get away from it, like, I feel like that's what this masculine energy was doing. Like, can I stop feeling this yet? Is it still a thing? It is. Okay. And so the truth slapped this person around a little bit. The truth is, I actually have feelings for this person. They're not going away because I do feel like there's been some passage of time, right? We had the Knight of Pumpkins or Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. This is about delays and setbacks. So there has been some time that has passed. And it feels to me like this masculine was waiting for the right time. If I'm going to be honest, I'll do it when the time feels right. May have been a little bit of procrastination, but was also trying to make sure that they approach this the right way. So do you see how this hand is just kind of like delicately holding that sword? It's like, I think this is the truth. I'm just still not fully comfortable with it yet, you know? Little pinky raise. Seven of Wands, quite a different feel, right? On this one, the guy's like, no, 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 I got this. I'm pretty sure I got a good grip. I'm gonna be all right. It's the right time. There is going to be confirmation for you, right? We've got an owl flying on a bat. So I'm just going to tell you right now that my gut, I know I chose the Jack-o'-lantern tarot. I love Halloween. But I'm going to tell you that before Halloween is the time. Like, there was an extension, there was a grace period added on for you, but it's not going to last forever. I think before Halloween, this person has to speak their truth or forever hold their peace. I've never even noticed this. Look, there's like a nose right here and like a pumpkin hat. I feel like for some of you, if you resonate with the masculine energy here, there's something about the way this person smells that you really like. You little weirdo. I'm just kidding. Hi, Days. How are you doing? Redbeard, I love it. Cats are weird and adorable. We have the sun in the reverse. So basically what needed to change is somebody needed to grow discontent with the lifestyle they had previously fought to protect. There is a sense of, why am I trying to like spend time with people I don't care about? I want to spend time with people I care about. Like, there are people that make me happy, and instead I'm dealing with like, one night stands, for example. So this period of sadness or kind of like feeling like a failure or like you let yourself down made this Knight of Cups realize, okay, I've been investing in something and it's not going to give me what it is that I want. It's not going to give me that end result, right? Like, this is a self-awareness that it's time to change. So I'm happy, because at the beginning I was a little bit doubtful that this masculine energy was going to figure out how to handle this, but it feels to me like someone just had to go through a little bit of like dark night of the soul, a little bit of confusion and a sense of loss in order to figure out what it is that they need or what they need to do, what they want. Which really feels to me like what I was talking about earlier. You have to know yourself, right? Before you can really enter into a meaningful relationship. What are my boundaries? What are my requirements? What are my deal breakers? What are the things that make me feel alive? Once you know that, you can understand much more readily what kinds of relationships would like suit you and would actually go the distance, right? So this person is seeing the world in a different way. They have had an end to a chapter in their life and worked hard to reclaim some balance. Things were up in the air. We had the Tower card, right? This is something significant changing, a different career, a different living location, a different goal, a shift, right? Temperance in the reverse, realizing that something wasn't the right fit, maybe a relationship, maybe a family influence, but this brought this masculine energy into a place where they could figure out, this is what I need to change, or this is what I need to do. All right, let's get just a little bit more clarification from the Everyday Witch, and then we'll call it a day. We have the Three of Pentacles, a sense of people working together, collaboration, right? It does seem like these pentacles that they have up on the wall, they're different colors. So I feel like there were some significant differences that somebody needed to kind of address in their mind before they could really understand this connection. So there could be a significant difference in age, religion, race, something along those lines that gave this person pause in terms of, do I actually want to pursue this? Is this something that feels right for me? Do I need to kind of like reprogram my understanding in terms of who I can or should be with? We have the Nine of Wands and the Page of Cups. This feels like a blank canvas to me, right? What I've been fighting for isn't necessarily what I want. I'm ready to kind of reassess the situation and redefine what it is that I'm looking for or that I want. Feels like a more mature understanding of what would make this masculine energy happy. Three of Cups in the reverse. So there was someone else in the picture. This feels like a codependent ex, somebody that wanted stability, financial stability, to be taken care of, that kind of thing. It kind of fed into the negative perception of relationships that this masculine had. Five of Pentacles in the reverse. There was a repeating cycle with this ex. So even if they would break things off, they would often get back together. And that was one of the more difficult elements of healing for this masculine. They needed to let go of whoever this person was. I think for the large majority of you, this is a romantic interest, but it could also be like a dependent parent, for example, or sibling. The Hierophant. Somebody has a different perspective, in particular, their understanding of religion or the universe, perhaps even karma. Then we have the Star. Because of some sort of inspiration. So they may have been listening to a motivational speaker. They may have been reading something that kind of reframed for them the experience of life and what they should seek to get from it. There is a different approach, a different set of goals. I want to be in love. I want to be in a relationship. That's what they've decided. I spent my whole life trying to avoid these serious connections because I was taught I couldn't trust people or that no one would value me the way that they should. I dealt with too many people that were trying to use me. But then I finally met this one person that actually like makes my heart sing. And now this person wants a relationship. Now they want something meaningful. All right, I hope you enjoyed that reading. That was a happier ending than I anticipated at the start, so I'm happy to see that. If you resonate with this masculine energy, remember you are worthy of something that makes you feel respected and loved. And even if you don't get this particular relationship that you're gunning for, you have done so much work on yourself that you set yourself up for a healthy relationship with a number of different people. Like you can choose, right? Kind of like that Queen of Wands vibe. If it doesn't work with you, that's fine. I'm a catch. Somebody else is going to see that, right? If you resonate with this Queen of Wands, know that this person has been identifying what was standing in the way, what the roadblocks were, and then working to change that. But I think the really important message here is you deserve love. Don't run away from your own happiness. You deserve love. So, all right. Thank you everyone for the likes and the subscribes, and love to all of you from me and the ham bone monster wherever he went to. I will see you on the next reading.